What's up guys, Daniel here, and today we're going to be breaking down a viewer's messages between him and a girl. So there's one big recurring issue with the way that he talks, and I want you to read all the messages in green and ask yourself, what age does the person writing these messages sound like? Now I've actually seen a picture of the guy who is writing these messages, and I think he's 40 to 50 years old, around that age range, and the messages written, they really do not sound like they were written by someone 40 to 50 years old. In my opinion, they sound like they're written by a 13-year-old girl. And when you're texting, when you're messaging girls over Tinder, how you write, the punctuation, the grammar that you use, really is the voice that the girl is going to be hearing. Imagine if you were going out to pick up women in real life, and you had the voice of a 13-year-old. Literally, you went up to the girl, all smooth, and then you open your mouth and the voice of a 13-year-old girl comes out. That is not going to be good. That's going to be something you want to fix. And when you're meeting girls on Tinder or you're texting girls that you know, you don't want to write like a 13-year-old girl, because she's going to be reading your messages and she's going to hear the voice of a 13-year-old girl in her ear. And that's not going to be sexy. That's not going to turn her on. That's not going to get the excitement going. And if English isn't your first language, that's okay, because you're going to write like someone who English isn't their first language, and they're going to hear the voice of someone who's speaking a second language, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the mistakes that he makes are slang mistakes. They're shortening. And that is a big no-no for texting. Don't shorten your words. Don't skimp on punctuation like capital letters. Don't use alternative spelling, like at the bottom he's written cool with a K instead of a C. It's almost like it's been like street, like yo, cool, yo. And you can see the U is written with just the letter U. And like that's what people used to do when they had the phones where you had to like tap in loads of digits. A lot of people don't use commas when they're writing messages on Tinder or text, and using commas is a really great way to have that mature, confident sound with your messages. So he could have written, hi mirror, comma, what's up with you? Now, a great rule of thumb for your first messages is that you want to make the girl smile with your first message. And making the girl smile is really gonna give a great amount of momentum to get your messages off to the first go, because if you make her smile, she's gonna engage with your first messages and with the whole exchange. And we've discussed this in my last video, but the easiest way to make a girl smile is so easy. Just reference something that made her smile when you first met her. And enough time has passed, that's now gonna make her smile again. So it's so easy to make a girl smile from your first message. And it's just so much more effective than writing something like, what's up with you? I don't like the question, what's up with you? Because to start a conversation, you're not providing the girl with any subjects for conversation. You're not, you're basically saying to the girl, you make the conversation, you give all the subjects that we're going to talk about. And I discussed before that leading is a highly attractive masculine quality, and leading with text messages is more subtle than in real life. Leading with text messages is providing the subjects to talk about, and then once those subjects start to get a bit stale, leading the conversation on to other subjects. And by saying, what's up with you, you're giving all the conversation, all the leading, you're basically putting the girl in the driver's seat of the conversation. And that's not a nice place to put a girl. You should be wanting to be in the driver's seat, and the girl, you know, she's a passenger going along for the ride. So we can see that his first two messages hasn't engaged the girl at all. She replied back with like probably what is the bare minimum that she could have responded with, which is, hi, I'm okay. Literally, that was all that response got, was 3 two-letter words, 6 letters in total. It's not that the girl doesn't like him, because if the girl didn't like him, she wouldn't have given him her phone number. It's so easy for girls to say, oh, I have a boyfriend. Oh, my phone's out of battery and I can't remember my number. Or she can just write down a fake number or leave out one of her numbers. And this happened to me a bunch of times. And so it's so easy for a girl not to give you her phone number. And she wrote down her full name. I've blurred it, but she wrote down her full name. So she likes, because that's like giving him her Facebook and her phone number at the same time. And also she didn't think he was a complete weirdo. Otherwise she wouldn't have given him her full name and her phone number. But the response, hi, I'm okay, is the bare minimum. And if she liked you, you probably could have got such a much better response from your first message. And so next up, he goes for the date straight away. And now this is quite a common thing I see. A lot of people, they don't feel comfortable or confident with talking to girls over text. So what they try to do is they try to keep the texting to a bare minimum and just immediately go for the date. And sure, that will work some of the times when the girl really likes you in person. She's gonna want to come on a date with you. So she's gonna say yes, even if you do ask her out in the second message. But it's far more effective and you're gonna get a lot more dates if you actually do talk to the girl over text for a bit before you ask her out. And the reason is that you're building positive reference experiences. If you meet the girl, you two have a good time, you talk to her over text, you two have a good time, she's thinking, oh, I met him in real life, we had a good time, I talked to him over text, we had a good time, I'm probably gonna have a good time if I go on a date with him. And it's that building that compliance, which is really an effective way of getting dates from phone numbers. But this is what happened here. Oh, I had a good time talking to him. Oh, I had a so-so time talking to him over messages, I'm not really sure about that. Well, I'm not really sure what the date's gonna be like. So, you can really see how positive tells a girl that the date is gonna be a positive experience. But if you don't have that positive message, it's a loose link. It's a broken, not quite working link. Also, it makes you look a bit eager, a bit of an eager beaver if you're just like, hi, how are you? Want to come on a date with me? Rather than, hi, how are you? You exchange, you enjoy talking to each other, and then you ask on a date. You look a bit needy if you're just immediately asking her out on a date. This I actually do like. He says, don't be boring, one drink. And he has a smiley face. And I like this because he's being cheeky, he's being playful. He's teasing the girl subtly, he's calling her boring, and he's got the smiley face at the end to show that he's being cheeky and he's being playful. I'm not too sure about picking you up because the girl either wants to come meet you for a drink or not, and most likely you offering to pick her up isn't going to make too much of a difference in her mind. She either wants to come on a date with you now or she doesn't. And yeah, the last message is it's okay because he doesn't stick on asking her out on a date and it starting to feel too like he's really pestering her for a date. He just he gets the message, he reads her and he says, okay, cool, get home safe. Now this is also another problem with asking the girl out straight away. If he had talked to her, had a bit of fun with her, messaging back and forth, there would have been a lot more engagement and there would have been a lot more momentum and conversation subjects to talk about. So when she does decline him the second time, he can easily just change the subject and talk about something else. But because there are no more threads or subjects in this text exchange, the conversation just dies and the momentum dies once the date suggestion fails. If he had more subjects to talk about, there would still be momentum in the conversation. He could easily just change the subject back. So yeah, it's not awful, but there is a lot that can improve. Mainly, have the voice of a grown man when you're talking. Exchange text with the girl first, enjoy talking to each other, establish that positive reference experience over text, and have that momentum in your text exchange so that if the girl does decline, you still have momentum to keep the text exchange ongoing. I hope you found this video useful. If you want me to break down your messages, I'll leave my email in the description below. Peace out.